Hello everyone and welcome back to Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee as ever. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you everyone that's been commenting on the YouTube videos. C Major episode, at the time of this recording, the C Major episode has just gone live and that's been really well received. Got a comment on the Press 1 episode as well saying that they thought he was a safe guy. He was. It was a really good episode. Check out that episode. I realise some people might be like, who's Press 1? Like, you know what I mean? We've had such stars on the podcast. We've had Shox, we've had C Major, we've had, today's guest, Olde English as well. But, there are more minor people, and I've got quite a few people coming up actually on the podcast. I've got probably the next year or so of guests booked. And quite a few of those are people that they're not even probably got 100,000k cumulative on Verse Tracker, and that's not me being some sort of hipster snob, because I guess we're all hipster snobs if we like battle rap, really, because it is so niche. Like the fact that Don't Flop has, I think it has below 400k subscribers is madness, really. Like it makes you realise when just meme channels have like millions and stuff like that. But regardless, this is Battle Rap Resume. Thank you so much for listening again. As ever, you can get in contact with us at Battle Rap Resume on the Twitter. I can't say they update it very often, but definitely all the new episodes get put up there, and any sort of compilations that I've done as well. Also, please get in touch on battlerapresume@gmail.com. That's all one word. And yeah, YouTube comments as I said before. But today's guest is someone that I kind of found retroactively. Like, part of the beauty of Don't Flop and battling as a whole is you can get into someone and then you just start watching all the people they face, and then when you're watching all the people they face, you get into someone else, and it's just this whole, and eventually you've watched the whole fucking league. Like, at least that's what happened with me with Don't Flop. Like, especially the sort of 2012 to 2015 Don't Flop channel, Don't Flop Extra, demo channels. I was just rinsing those. Like, it was just interesting to see who battled who and how people came to people. And I was going for a Soul binge. Soul's one of my first kind of real obsessions in Don't Flop. I think I've mentioned the Matter Soul battle quite a few times now. It's a fucking ridiculously good battle. Soul recently, by the way, has agreed to be on the podcast, which is really fucking exciting. So Soul will probably be on maybe episode 11, 12, something like that. So yeah, we're going to bump him up the schedule because he's a hero. So I was watching all the Soul battles, and one of the ones that I came across was Olde English, Soul versus Olde English. And it was at this phase when I was cycling to work, and I had quite long cycles, and I would just listen to battles, I'd just download battles, and I kind of had like a lot of battles on rotation. And I remember listening to this battle, and I remember specifically listening to Olde English's, I believe it's his third round, where he kind of breaks down Soul's overseas girlfriend, which has been done kind of ad nauseum now, but I guess back then it was more fresh in me, and it's just a superbly written round. And like, I actually think there's probably better material in the other rounds of that battle. I mean, we will get onto that battle, of course, but for some reason that round really stuck with me, and I remember laughing when I was cycling through. I remember just thought it was brilliant. So I was kind of going back, and I was kind of, I say, retroactively tracing the lineage of Olde English, as it were, to play into that ancestry heraldry kind of vocabulary there. But yeah, I was just going back through, and I started watching all of this guy's battles, really. I just, I loved them. I thought they were really intricate, kind of like, he mentioned southpaw, the unorthodox punching style in the Soul battle, and it does have that. It has a slow weight behind it, a kind of density. It's really good to listen to. Like when I was saying I was cycling, like there is a kind of like narrative quality to it, where it's not preachy, but it's just demonstrative. But I will stop praising him and wanking him off too much. I just want to say hello to Olde English. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
No, thank you for being here. And you're back. I mean, obviously this episode's kind of going to come out after, but you're back battling Blizzard.
Yeah.
Like a 2-on-2 thing.
Carlos and Blizzard, yeah, man. Yeah.
So Carlos and Villain are facing each other.
Yeah. Do you know what it was?
What the shit?
I'll start with how it happened.
Like Marvel Civil War has just came out in cinemas, and
it's for that. It's a promo.
Yeah.
No, I think, how was it? Me and Villain was looking for 2-on-2s. Like, we've been looking for a while, man. Last year we put the word about, but it's about finding the right opponents. And battling nowadays for me it's not about the views, and it never has been. So I want someone who I feel is going to challenge me, and even if all the fans think this person's better than me, if I still think that this guy isn't a challenge, when it comes to writing, performing as well, obviously, but my aim is to have the best bars and bar for bar, prevail in the battle. And so we was looking for more people, more opponents that have that kind of style where we can go bar for bar. But this year, I think it was on just the Viewpoint forum. I think Carlos and Blizzard were just chatting shit, fucking about, and then they all confirmed it behind my back. I didn't even know, because we're all boys, like all of us. We hook up on the weekends, make music. Do you know what I mean? Jam, whatever. And So it was one of them ones. So it's never going to be nothing too serious. I mean, we will obviously have personals in there, but we're not.
Yeah.
We know too much about each other. We're not trying to ruin lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
right.
they confirmed it without me. I didn't even have a fucking clue. Then I got added into a chat, and then the chat was just like from Briggsy, and it said, "So you guys ready to do this?" Yeah, and I'm just thinking, fuck, like I'm kind of shook because like, I don't know how they're gonna go about it. Personals, do you know what I mean? I don't like not that there's too much on me, but obviously as people,
everyone's
everyone's
stuff,
got
man.
shit, man. You can take anything, and you can milk it. So that's kind of how it came about.
That's the thing. I mean, that's an exciting battle. I can't wait to watch it. The amount of talent that's in that ring. All four of you are like serious writers and performers. And okay, it's exciting to see Blizzard's return, but it's also exciting to see you teamed up with Villain for the first time.
Yeah, man.
And Carlos in the mix as well. Like I can't. It's the headline battle, rightly so.
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna have a lot of chemistry and just jokes. I mean, not all jokes, but just because we're boys, man, it's more like banter. You know what I mean? So I was just saying to them, it's nothing we wouldn't do outside of battling. Just a lot more well written.
Yeah, I see that this is your second battle of the year, and you only battled once last year. But this is a doubles battle, so you kind of just did you want another battle, or was it the fact that it was the Villain you were looking for this kind of?
Yeah, basically, because I don't battle too much nowadays.
No,
it's mainly because of the reason about about just not having people that I feel are a threat to me personally, not on a battle rap level, but just personally people that I want to go against. And I said to Villain, like, one of the things I want to do, not that I'm quitting, but one of the things I want to do, since I'm not really battling much, because I'll never say I fully quit, I'll never quit, I'll never say I retired, because I might want to come back, but I just don't have the hunger no more. But I said I want a 2-on-2 with Villain because we chill together a lot. Do you know what I mean? Despite what people say, he doesn't live on my couch. He lives like the other side of London. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. But so we, I thought that had to happen. For me and as well both of us. And I've never done a 2-on-2 before either. No. So I think that it'd go down quite well.
Yeah. No. I mean, I can't wait to watch that. But we'll move on to the your first match, which is against JC.
You're at the bottom of the food chain, alongside seaweed and the roach, not to mention the Charlie sloth, since that parasite is feeding off the host. This guy's a fucking idiot. His rhymes are worthless too. I mean, is this who you're gonna put me up against? I'll try to be polite and murk this dude, because I'm your biggest obstacle yet. You can tell by my size, my words and truth. How's JC gonna overcome old when Christ died at 32?
JC, not Chilla Jones. JC,
some German guy.
Yeah, some German guy
that no one's heard of since.
No, he had another battle in Don't Flop.
Leeds, in it.
Yeah. A year later against another no-name that I hadn't heard, and it's kind of got that sort of 2012 kind of thumbnail edge to it, sort of thing. But and he didn't really seem to do much. But says in the intro that you were meant to be battling in August. I'm not quite sure when this was filmed, but so you meant to be battling earlier, but someone cancelled on you, or?
Yeah, I was meant to battle this guy called Drek One. He's one of Pedro's mates.
Oh right.
Yeah, some tall guy, and he pulled out, man. He pulled out the day of the battle as well.
No.
And that's the worst thing, man, because it was in a graffiti tunnel. I think it's when Tony D battled Token. I think it was that event. I was meant to try it then, but you know what? I mean, like, as bad as I think the JC tryout went, and it was a tryout, I think the other tryout probably would have went worse.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of got like...
Well, it's a while ago, isn't it? Because the advert at the start of the video is for the Grist Blizzard battle, which is being advertised as upcoming.
It's 2011.
So we're going real deep back. I mean, were you a Don't Flop fan coming up? Were you more rapping and you wanted this exposure? Like, what was your entrance?
Well, the reason behind joining Don't Flop, I've been watching battling since 2002. I've been rapping since I was 10 years old. I'm 24 now, so that's 14 years. So since I've started rapping, I've been watching battles, and that's just how it was. I watched Jump Off. I watched, I've seen an Arc in that.
Yeah.
What was it?
WRCs.
Yeah, WRCs. I watched all of that. I watched a bit of King of the Dot. I moved to America in 2005. I was there for about 4 years.
Oh, really?
And Yeah, so I was into it then. Like in high school, I used to just have freestyle battles and shit, and I always wanted to do it. And I thought, like, when I was 17, I graduated. At 16, I graduated. 17, I was there for about another 6 months, and I said I want to go back to London. I want to pursue rap, just music mainly. But I still had the intention to battle. And I hit up and he said there's an event in Shoreditch, and then I had so much shit going on in my life. I didn't end up going. I didn't accept it. And about a year and a half later, I started speaking to someone I knew, and he joined Don't Flop. His name was Fame. He's from Manchester.
Right.
I think he only had 2 battles. I think he battled Mickey, actually.
Oh, okay, I don't recall him, but yeah.
And he said about Don't Flop again. And I watched it a few times, but I completely forgot about battling for that year and a half because I had so much shit going on. Yeah. I didn't even rap, for about a year and a half. I wrote a few verses maybe, but that's about it. Because I lived in Devon, so I moved back to London. And I didn't have a job at the time. I was living at my brother's house and he was working. So I was going out during the day to internet cafes and just watching battles again. Because the guy Fame... He's sort of a friend, more of an associate, but you know what I mean. But he's a cool guy, but I just don't chill with him. I haven't spoken to him in years, to be honest. He battled and he was telling me to join. So I thought, fuck it. And so I was at this internet cafe watching old battles. I think it was Mickey and who was it? Els, Mickey and Els, battles like that. This is during that time. So I was watching them, and Lunacy, obviously, he was about watching his battles, and then I just thought, fuck it, let's join, I think that was the same year, 2011, yeah. Then I hit up, or I think it was even, I don't even think I'd had a Facebook then, or I wasn't involved, so I think I just emailed them. Like, I had no clue about social media. Yeah, straight up Don't Flop email. Can I try out? Sent them a video, and then they arranged the date. The guy dropped
What was
out,
the video? Was it you battling? Or?
It was just... Nah, it was a freestyle. To be honest, it's pretty shit.
Right.
But I had potential. When you can always tell if people are actually shit or if they have potential, whether or not their flow's off or whatever. You can always tell. So they knew I was a rapper. I think I sent them maybe one song to go along with it. I don't know what it is. And then then they gave me the August slot, and then the guy pulled out. Never heard from him. And then. Yeah, then I think about JC in November.
Yeah, and you come off as JC. You, you said yourself this maybe not your greatest performance.
Do you know what? I didn't.
not to be like sorry.
No, because I'm honest, man. The thing about me is that I'm completely honest and I'm completely self-aware, and that's why I've been able to progress. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Sometimes when you're battling, it takes a few battles to actually clock what you're doing and actually understand fully. And about getting reaction, not just reaction, but obviously you battle for a reaction, whether it's a bar or a joke. I'd much rather have reaction than no reaction, all day long. And I don't know many people that would say the opposite. But the tryout, it was quite funny because I battled this guy. He beat me. I just didn't see the performance side of battling. I'm used to just rapping, I never really, I've done a few open mics and stuff, but I wasn't really too experienced in that field. And so he beat me or whatever. And I was actually at a pub about a few months later, and Jolly J was there. Do you know Jolly J? Yeah,
the German guy, right?
He was there, yeah. And he basically told me that he goes through it JC's rounds. So
really?
That's what he told me. So he basically said, "I'm sorry, because you took the loss." So I was chilling with him. He goes, "I'm sorry, you got the loss." He goes, and he told me that's what he told me. I don't know how much he goes for it, but because JC's German, and Jolly J knows him. Obviously, JC's a really big battle fan, so he was kind of, I think, obsessive in his approach. So he made it his business to kind of know everything and get involved, and that's why he knew Jolly J. So it's a bit of a weird story. Like my tryout had his rounds ghostwritten, but that's what Jolly J told me. Right,
it's funny you say that because I rewatched it recently for the podcast, and a lot of his bars are good and I enjoyed them, but they did feel above the par of like what a tryout would be capable of, just in terms of like kind of they're so concise. For example, he has one,
and his delivery didn't really match.
It didn't.
It was like he was reading something someone else wrote for him, because he didn't know how to deliver it in his own way. You know, you watch mine back, it might have been a bit stumbly, or my projection wasn't great, but it was a simple kind of delivery. I know there wasn't nothing complex in there, but it was a standard delivery. I didn't, you know, it wasn't really choppy. His style is very choppy.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. And he had some, you know, you're very ugly, you're very rugby, gets a big reaction, and that felt kind of, you know, Jolly J's ghost hand traces.
Yeah, you could definitely see
I will beat you in every way, shape and form, so I start with your weight, shape and form. Is kind of got that sort of, you know, nice conclusive nature to it.
Yeah, it's good. It is good. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can look back at it now. I'll laugh at that. Do you know what I mean?
It's decent, but whereas yourself, I mean, there's some bars, there's some of the kind of soul Old English that I love in here. You know, how's JC going to overcome Old when Christ died at 32, which is pretty much your closer. But you do have a sort of mini choke almost in your opening bars about fucking his family.
Yeah.
You kind of,
I don't remember. What was the bar?
I can't really remember the bar. But you just talk about sort of going in on his family, but you just kind of, you don't choke. It's just kind of the volume gets turned down on you, and then it gets turned back up. It's kind of, it's, you know, but the crowd are rocking with you. That, you know, you talk about he sucks more off camera than professional fluffers, which is really nice, and that kind of rescues the round slightly, you know.
You know what? I had a bar on the third round. I always remember this because I fucked it up.
Right.
Back then, I always thought it was a good bar, and I completely fucked it up mid punch sort of. So the punch, or even before, just like in one of the setups, just a setup before maybe or something, but completely took away the power of the punch. But I had something about him being a parasite and feeding off the host. And I don't know now if I'd write that and think it's amazing, but at the time I loved it, you know. So so it kind of threw me off. I think the whole battle, I don't know. I was prepped. I think it was nerves, man. I was quite nervous, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it shows slightly. A couple of the judges themselves, English included, says that you need to kind of project more, but they endorse your writing. JC wins pretty resoundingly. The German JC wins 3-0. He quotes Hitman Holler to finish up his round. Ball game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, which is again. Is it kind of like, did Jolly J tell him to say that? I don't know. But
fuck those. Maybe that was good.
Maybe. But he kind of, you know, he does his thing, and regardless of the ghostwriting things that we now know retroactively, he still beats you pretty resoundingly. And you know, in the right hands, in the right context, I'm not sure what his, you know, story is. Who knows? But he could have done quite well in that era of Don't Flop if he was a bit more savvy.
I don't know what happened. I think maybe like and I don't want to offend him, but maybe he ran out of people to ghostwrite, or maybe Jolly J wasn't on it, and then he found too much of a hard time writing himself. Maybe that. I know, like, for a while he was really backing me, but he was quite cocky as well, and kind of like, as I got better, he kind of would reflect back on his win and be like, oh yeah, but I beat Old English, sort of thing. Yeah. And it was a tryout, and I said to him, basically, if we was to battle today, it'd be a different story completely. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know what he said to that, but he's cool, man. I ain't got no problems with him. Do you know what I mean? He's been quite supportive of me since I've gone on to progress.
No, that's good, man. Because I mean, by the looks of it, your 2012s. This was kind of released at the end of 2011. Your full first year of battling was both productive, probably your most productive year, along with 2013, but also, you know, a learning curve. You've got 2 battles and demo battles, you know, which is not really to say that they're bad battles. There's lots of good demo battles that are good battles.
Yeah, do you know what? It is what it is, man. Like, I'm thankful for everything that has happened. You know, some things I maybe hoped would happen or things go in my way, but I don't, you know, hold any bad judgment on the staff in a sense. Do you know what I mean? So, and at the same time, like, I was worried after the tryout I wasn't gonna come back for another battle, and I got called back, and that was Big J. And then even after that, I was kind of worried. You know, I was just thankful for the opportunity, and I still am.
No, of course, and you were invited out also. I mean, I'm always interested to ask about how other leagues operate. Like I was speaking with Most Prob in the previous episode about when he went over to Germany to battle Nils and Skills, and just how a league's different. And he was saying, interestingly, that German leagues were all night battles. Everyone's smoking, of course. There's no smoking ban. Ciphers take place afterwards, and concerts, and it's all kind of part of a thing here. So obviously, Red JSD is not going to be quite at that level. But you battled Hulk, you battled Gibbo, you know, in quick succession on this league. What was it for you? Was it more, I need more battles to kind of hone the craft, or I just want to battle other places? I mean,
I'd say a bit of both. I think mainly it is to get better, but it was never to like use Red JSD in that sense. Like I had a lot of fun going out there, and Orcs and his people, they're all good people, man, all genuine people. Yeah, they look after you. You know, I didn't get paid for the battles. You know? I didn't get paid for the travel. No, it was just because that's how it was back then, and they were just starting out. But it's just more about the hospitality that they showed me. And that kind of made me get more into battling, I'd say. You know, I think after Big J, although I won it, I still wasn't happy, and I kind of feel like after the Gibbo battle, it kind of helped me find my feet a bit. So I learned a lot from battling in Red JSD.
No, that's good. That's good. So we come on to your next battle with Cracker.
Cracker goes to the University of Roehampton, where he's cool and cocky. He's telling me stories of the cutest hotties. You bang any chicks that you move to properly. Tell me about your classes, your dorm room and hobbies. And since I hosted a battle in your uni lobby, this will be the second time in 2 weeks. Don't flop capture a student body. Oi!
Who I think on paper this probably made sense for a lot of people at the time, makes sense now. Not necessarily that you have exactly similar styles, but you both aim towards a clever punch. You both have a character in the league. You both have a kind of intense writing style that's really enjoyable as an audience member. I mean, being matched up with Cracker at this time, this must have been something you were looking forward to on Don't Flop, like a good name.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of them ones where I had someone that I felt could test me. Lyrically, and I hate to use that word as well, man. It's been so but at the same time,
it always gets used on this pod.
Yeah, I've been using it forever. So what else am I supposed to say in a sense, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it kind of made me step up my punches and make everything be more impactful, and you know, make your punches count in a sense. You know, I was always trying to hit him with something, you know, so the round's fluid. Yeah,
for sure. And this works. I mean, you know, the whole battle is brilliant from start to finish, really. I think this is a really, really enjoyable battle, especially if we're going chronologically in terms of the podcast from JC to Cracker. It's like light years ahead. It's unbelievable.
I was a different person, man. That switch just flicked, and then I just completely understood. You know, and it happens, man. It happens with most people, you know. Anyone. Look at Koj now, man. Look at his tryout. He was good in his tryout, but it was completely different to how he is now, and he's much better now, because it's not just that he's better, he's a better rapper, or it's just his understanding, you know. That's what it is. It's not really your potential or anything like that. I think it's just how you understand it, you know. As anything, as football, you know, I'm shit at football because I don't understand, you know, the game or playing it in the same way, you know. I wouldn't understand where to exactly kick the ball because I'm just terrible like that, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. I just today actually I watched Paul Newman's The Hustler, like this old American film, black and white film about pool hustlers, and it's really fucking good. I highly recommend it. But there's this speech that kind of the boss gives him, and it's basically, he says that everyone has talent, but not many have character.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we have here, is character, is actual, like, you know, I mean, I'm not to put down like the wordsmiths, but writing a bar is difficult, but performing on a stage is very hard, like, you know, and
it's completely different, man. Like completely. And I used to have the attitude where you could write anything and then you'll get the win, and you know, it's kind of a stupid attitude to have when you're not taking all the other things into consideration, you know. So that's kind of how I think I developed, just being self-aware, really.
I love, I mean, it's kind of thankful, really, that most battlers in Don't Flop are kind of around my age, so there's a lot of kind of niche references that aren't niche references because everyone gets them, and you start your first with one of those against Cracker. You say, you got me reliving my youth, now in my cranium I'm a kid, because I've been waiting long to sun you like aliens in the fridge, which was...
That was a bar! Do you know what, man? Like, that's... I don't know if anyone...
well, the thing is, international listeners might not understand that. Can you just explain what you mean with that?
It's very simple and stupid, but like, you know, them the aliens that come in the goo or whatever it is in the egg. Yeah, I remember like in school, maybe year 7 or something. There's always the rumor that because they had the black patch on their back, and there was a rumor if you stick them in the fridge together, they'll have babies. You know, so they'll have kids. You know, waiting long to or whatever. So you leave them in there and I have kids, and I remember I always left them in the fridge and you know, open it and there's no kids there, you know. It's the dumbest thing ever. Like, why would anyone actually think that, you know? And I kind of blame like the parents for not not telling us.
Like
my mom saw
the
the shit
and
I
the
went
bees.
through, man. Like she didn't even let me know, you know. So so that, and I like to use those sort of references because they refresh something in your mind. So whether or not it's a good bar, and I'm not trying to cut corners, but whether or not it's a good bar, they still kind of react because of the reference, and that's why I like to use old references in a sense. Kind of helps you kind of edge your punch a bit more.
Yeah, no, that works. It's a fantastic punch. And then following up with that, you have kind of a trope throughout your writing. You have just very good sort of setups and connecting phrases that are just tight. Similar, I'm thinking Briggsy. You had this bar against Briggsy, which we're not really going to touch upon in this episode, but you had this bar here to set this body in stone like a statue. Or something like that, which I just really liked. I was just like, I was like, that works. That's really
simple.
Smooth.
That's what I wanted to go for, man.
And like here against Cracker, you say, you'll be back to square one, like I'm playing hotchscotch. Which is just a similar kind of,
Do you know what? In that bar as well, in that battle as well, I remember I said another bar. I think it was a body bar. I said something like, "I'll harm him. I'm a Spartan. I make a wall out of bodies," or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And at the time, it was more just about like racking up bodies to make a wall in a sense, but not everyone kind of deciphers it in the same way, and it's not as clear to some people, but to me that's what I meant by it. So to me it was an amazing bar, and I don't know if it got any reaction, but it didn't kind of get the reaction I thought it would, which happens a lot, but
the atmosphere in that battle seemed a little off. I'm not quite sure what it was, but and then you go on to imagining Cracker's sister as a porn star. She takes so much BBC, she gets money from TV licensing. And you just go for this whole scheme of Cracker's sort of demented family, told for their allegiances to TV shows. His dad was on Stars in Their Eyes, etc.
And the fucking Dancing on Ice, whatever. Stars in Their Eyes. Do you know what? It's funny because when I go over my old bars, I used to think all my old stuff was shit because I don't watch it now, but it's still kind of stuff I would use now. Do you know what I mean? Like I still love those bars. I love the way I did it. When the battle finished, MA judged it, and he's just kind of said that it's not personal, it's not true, this and that. And I was just kind of it's clearly not true. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, his mom was on Crime Watch trying to rob a car with a knife. You can tell it's not true. And if it was, then I don't even know what to say. But you know what I mean? And I never wanted it to be true. So when he kind of voted against me for that, it kind of annoyed me a little bit because I was just kind of going for that sort of humor. I mean, in the battle, I remember I said Cracker shots coke in uni, which obviously I don't actually know, so I don't think that's true. But no. I said that, and I remember after the battle, he was like, he goes, "Why did you say I shot coke in uni for?" And I said to him, my response was, I said, "You said I date rape women. Do you know? There's a difference there. You know what I mean? Like one's selling drugs, one's raping women. And he thought, because I lied about it or whatever, he kind of didn't get why, or maybe people are gonna watch it and now thinks he shots coke or something. I don't know.
Right.
But he tried to Jefferson Price me in a way. I think he even mentioned Jefferson Price, and he's gonna end my life with this revelation of me raping women with no women to come forward and claim that it's true. So
no evidence needed.
Exactly. It's like the reverse of Bill Cosby. I had no one come forward. So the angle really didn't work. And after the battle, he kind of went on about me saying about him shotting coke, and I was just thinking,
I can't believe he'd be so ignorant to battle rap's fictitious nature.
And then mention someone date raping someone with no proof.
Cracker the honky.
It was funny, but don't get me wrong, and that's the thing. I wasn't annoyed he said I date rape women because I don't, so I don't really care.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And so it's cool. After that battle, it's not going to go nowhere. Nothing's going to happen. So maybe he was shot in coke in uni. I don't think so. I don't want to snitch on him. Do you know what I mean?
We'll go from sort of defaming Cracker to praising him, because I think the start of his first is one of my all-time favourite bars of his. His kind of where he basically kind of does an impression of you and then cuts himself short and says, "Blood, why do you always start rounds by what sounds like should be in the middle of your verse?" Which is a very original breakdown.
You know what the worst thing is? Fucking Villain told me to stop doing that. He's like, "Stop doing it," and I think I still did it for that battle. And he's just like, "I'm just lazy, to be honest. Even sometimes multis, I'm just lazy. I'm perfectly capable of writing multis that would help carry the punch more and make a bit more sense, you know. But I'm just lazy. I just love a punchline. So once I got the punch, I don't really give a fuck. I'm a bit different now because I understand there's a different style and you have to step it up a bit. But back then I didn't really care. So how I ended it and begun rounds didn't really bother me until I think he actually mentioned it as a diss. Because Villain said it and I thought, oh, Villain's just kind of saying that, you know. But once someone else picked up on it, I was like, oh shit, it's actually true. Do you know what I mean?
It's just a really original breakdown, really. I just thought it was quite left field.
Cracker was good, man. I still think he won. Do you know what I mean? I still think he won because he came differently to me in a sense. I think I kind of wanted to just clown him and make jokes. I didn't really want to go for him because I try not to take it personal because I'm not that sort of person outside of battles. You know what I mean? Like I remember Soul said to me one day, I think he said something about like cussing people that. No, I wasn't Soul, it's Tony. Tony said to me, I think he's a bit different now, but back then he didn't battle as much, and he was saying that he only really wants to battle people that he don't like, because he doesn't actually like cussing people he knows or he's cool with, you know. He'll still do it, you know, because it's a battle, but he'd prefer to battle someone he don't like, or there's something there for him to pick at. So I kind of adopted the same approach after Soul, I think it was, because I went in on Soul's girlfriend. I won't talk about that too much, I'll leave that for after. But so I adopted that approach, and that's just how I am now, really. That's why I kind of like the abstract lies and shit like that, you know. I love it. I'd love to just spit a whole round of, you know, non-fiction and just fucking get away with it, because I don't want to really ruin people's lives. That's not what I'm trying to do, you know.
No. That's not what we're trying to do either. We're just trying to look into bars, such as the one about Gandalf in the second round. Talking about his hoe, though. She smokes drone, she can blow a boatload. Fucking original, man. Really
Safe,
like that.
Man. Like Bruce Lee caught onto that, and Dialect as well. Like they both. They both said to me they love. I think Dialect still mentions it today as well, man. Do you know what I mean?
It's brilliant.
And I love. That's another bar. Like when I was watching Lord of the Rings, when I fucking. You know, when I came up with the bar, because back then that's how I used to come up with my bars. I should really do that more now I just sit down and write, but I don't get the same punches. The punches I don't feel are as hard in that sense, because when you're watching something you can really write it, and because you see it, you know, you see it for what it is, and it kind of just hits you, and it's like a spark. So like I was literally watching it, saw Gandalf smoking, a boat came out, and I thought, fuck, boatload, you know, it's a blow it out. So you know, it's not that hard.
Divine spark, man. It's
definitely.
And then your second, which is really strong, ends a little. It kind of tails off. Not necessarily ends badly, but just kind of the reference is a little obscure. Even then, especially now, you reference Nico the Negro, he's like a cult figure in Don't Flop. Is he the early days?
Yeah, but you know what? Like he battled while I was watching battles in the internet cap and that, like during that period, and it was more about Cracker's name being Cracker the Honky, you know, and that's all that's. And to be honest, I, you know, and like you said, it ends a bit funny. Funnily enough, I didn't even have that bar, you know, for the battle. I think I came up with it that night or something, and just kind of just spat it, you know, and I probably shouldn't have, but I kind of thought it was funny, you know, still kind of do. Maybe it's not, but, you know.
Okay, well, just one last thing on this battle as well. Obviously, we're saying, you know, Cracker's shot in coke. Whether that's true or not, who knows? Cracker says that you do poetry. Is that fiction? Or?
No, I don't do poetry.
Okay,
see what I mean?
I got the. I didn't really get the vibe, to be honest. But
it's all good. It's all fun. Do you know what I mean? But no, I don't do poetry. Like rap's technically, you know, poetry. But I don't want to be them people that says, oh yeah, I'm a poet. You know. Because you know, it's I don't really think they are exactly the same thing. It's maybe it might be a form of poetry, but I don't think you can be called a poet if you just rap. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree. You still need to commit something to the spoken word realm, definitely. Or the page realm.
Yeah, because I don't have an understanding of poetry like poets do. You know, definitely not. You know,
but your name, Olde English, did that come from any literary?
No, not all. Like literally, like this is when I was in America, and like they can, you know, they like to just pick up on the simple things that they see, you know. So they'll, you know, like in school, people would literally call me England. So some people, that my name would be England. One girl used to call me England boy. You know what I mean? And yeah. So what was we saying again?
Just the origin of your name.
Oh yeah. So I was I used to go to my friend's house, and they used to have bonfires and that. This is in Minnesota, so it gets kind of cold, -30 or something. It's freezing, but you go outside, you drink, you have a bonfire, and then you just relax. And I used to freestyle by the fire. And my favorite drink was Olde English, like the 40-ounce bottles, and that was my favorite drink. So I used to drink that freestyle, drunk over the fire. And someone gave me that name one day, like literally just said Olde English, because it made sense to them, because I'm English and I'm drinking Olde English and I'm rapping. And I thought, you know what, that's so applicable, to me in a situation, whether it's just named after an alcoholic beverage, it still is very applicable to me, more than maybe Olde English itself would be, like, in the language. So, that's kind of how I took it and I ran with it. I don't even know what I was called before then. I think I had a stupid name like Big Jord or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, straight up. It's a great name, and it's been giving everybody you faced some great name flips in the process. And we'll move on to a battle that was obviously, as said in the intro, was one of the battles that really got me into you. One of the battles that, similar to how Chiller and JC outshined, not German JC, Chiller and JC pretty much outshined Summer Madness 2. They were kind of like on the pre-card, so they were not on the actual event, but they were like the best battle of that whole event. Like, I'm not going to say you guys were the best battle of Fifth Birthday. I'd say you were the second best. I think Shovel T and Marlowe, their performance against C Major and Cracker is like genuinely like masterful stuff. Like this, like their 3 rounds are incredibly good. They're different level, man. Like I think Shovel T is one of the best in Don't Flop. Definitely top 5, and I wouldn't put him top 3, because my top 3. My personal
your top 3. Who are your top 3?
I'd say Tony, Soul, and Villain. I think Villain's not as consistent, but I think he's up there with having the same potential as them, definitely. And I think Tony and Soul would tell you the same exact thing. As when it comes to people in the league, that I think, if they was to face Villain, that'd probably be the one person that they'd probably be on their toes battling. But I don't know if that would ever happen,
If you are a bars guy like we are, you kind of have to put Tony and Soul in there
100%.
For
But Shuffle's top 5.
Shuffle's top 5 as well. I mean, there's so many good people, but I think that they are kind of, I think Shox is getting there as well. I think Shox's consistency is really impressive. Obviously, we'll get on to Shox. Maybe you're a little salty, I don't know, but
no, I'm cool.
Soul,
good.
no, but seriously, this battle with Soul.
My boss devour shit in an hour quick. You're not cut out for this, your album pick. Summer college of outstanding whip mixed with golden bars like an alchemist. Down to spit and proud of it. Try something, me, I ain't about that shit. You get back now and zip buried around the crypt. Have your name X like Malcolm did. I'm not in league, it's a different ball game, they can vouch for this. I'm nice off the bat, don't need a rounder's kit, cause I'm never played out like grounded kids.
Incredible battle. And obviously there was a bit of kind of disjunction to this battle. It kind of, was meant to happen somewhere, meant to happen somewhere else. When did this start? When was it the first kind of you and him maybe battling?
I think April, because he was banned at the time. So banned him for punching Caustic. Yeah, that was it. And
you were there, sorry. You actually saw the punch.
Do you know what? Literally, I just about saw him connect. I didn't actually see him throw it, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? So I saw all the commotion just as it happened. So I couldn't actually sit there and tell you if it was a good punch. I presume it probably wasn't. Like, no offense, Soul. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I was there, man.
That's crazy. That's like a real kind of major event, and such a weird one. An event you can never predict. Yeah, that Soul would punch Caustic.
And then to go on and start killing it how he has, because at the time he wasn't really anyone for them to know. Like he was kind of known here. Everyone knew he was good, but no one had a clue who he was overseas. No one was checking for Soul back then.
And I mean, like yourself, obviously, you must have been a huge fan of Soul, because he'd had so many good battles up to this point.
Yeah. I think Soul was my favorite at the time. Like at the time, I preferred him to Tony D. Do you know what I mean? And
Tony's gotten better actually since Fifth Birthday.
Yeah. Because he knows he knows how to hit a lot more. Like Tony, I think Tony was always good and his style was always sick, but he figured it out. That's the thing, like it clicked in his head. That one thing he needed to get better clicked, and then since then he's just been on a roll.
No, I completely agree. And So this battle eventually came. Was it? So it wasn't meant to go on at fifth birthday main stage. It was scheduled for a.
Yeah, there's more to the story.
Yeah.
I was meant to battle on Chronicles League because I think.
Oh, Words of Weapons.
No, this was a league before or something.
Oh.
I think he fell out of. Oh, actually, I don't actually know what happened. He stopped working for Don't Flop. I'll say that. I don't actually know what happened. So he hit me up about battling Soul. And it's a battle that I'd love to do. I think it's like at the time it was my ideal battle, and so he hit me up and said Soul would. He asked Soul to battle someone. He said to Soul, "Who would you want to battle?" And Soul said Olde English. So he hit me up. But that's what Chronicle said anyway. Maybe Soul's got a different story. Maybe Soul didn't even want to fucking battle me. But but he was banned at the time, so it was meant to be then. And what happened? You know what happened? I think shortly after, I think Soul cancelled. I don't think, maybe Chronicle cancelled the event. I'm not exactly sure, but I think Soul cancelled, and then let him come back, and I think that's what happened. So I said, yeah, you can come back, and I think he battled first. So I think that's why I battled.
Yeah, he battled first.
Yeah, so I think that's what happened, and then it was meant to battle at Set the Standard with Ogmius and C Major, I think, and I think he missed his coach or something happened. Right. And then I battled him at the fifth birthday, and I kind of like my first round's like really long, and I said because Soul, like I'll tell Soul this, to his face, but I said because he took so long, because he was so long about the situation, and because he cancelled, it kind of annoyed me a bit. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to add an extra round, extra minute or minute and a half to my round. Literally. And I'll be honest about it. That's what I said. I said, fuck it, So, yeah, that's why that round is so long.
And was this scheduled to be an outdoor break battle? Or was it meant to be on the main stage?
It was meant to be pre-party the night before. And the crowd was so loud that they was like, nah, they don't want this. And then on the day, there was some cancellations. And I asked, I think Liam, I said, I want it to be on stage. I said, I'm ready to go on stage. You know what I mean? I felt like, like my Soul material, like half of it was written a year, like not a year before, but 6-7 months before.
Sure.
So I was sitting on it for a long time. So I wanted it out. I was the most confident I've ever been for a battle, even to this day, because I knew my rounds so well. And that's where my confidence comes from. It's not about the crowd and none of that. It's just how well I know my rounds. That's when I feel confident. And so that's what happened. And I said to Liam, I want it on stage. I think it was Liam. It might have been Bam. And I didn't really get a response in a sense. Like I didn't personally say no, he don't want me on stage, but obviously that's what happened, because there was cancellations, and he said it. I think he said it wasn't right. He goes, it doesn't feel right or something. I don't know. I don't really hold him. I don't really hold him to that, or think bad of him in a sense, because I think, to be honest, that probably was the right move.
Well, yeah, I think it thrives for the outdoor.
I think I don't know if it would have went off as good on stage. It might have, because I was still really confident, but I'm really happy because the Soul battle, everyone that was there wanted to be there because the event finished, and so everyone wants to go home or they want to stay and watch another battle, and that's just how it was. So everyone that is watching that battle really wants to be there, otherwise they would have left, and that's why I think the outdoor battles after events are better in that sense, because the people that actually want to stick around are going to stick around.
No, you agree? Yeah, I mean, Tony's billing a joint the whole way through. O'Shea's there. Psychosis Holocaust. Like, it's a great. It's a great.
That was such a sick day as well, man. And the amount of love I got after that, it was amazing. Even from those people there. O'Shea, Flossie, like they're such cool people.
Yeah, and it was an insane first long round, really. You talk about never see Soul outbarred in Don't Flop, except for who had Soul outbarred from Don't Flop. You couldn't let it go when Jeff was Breaking Bad. You had to defend him like he better call Soul.
Yeah, I think I used that first as well. I always try and get the first ones in there. So
yeah. No, I remember actually you using that and me thinking, that's quite.
Now you hear it, it's not the same. But
oh god, now it's just like there's fucking 2 seasons of the spin-off on Netflix. Like it's not niche at all. Again, mention the whole caustic thing, the whole. Saying the Southpaw because our punches are unorthodox, we mentioned before, incredible. And then a bar are a sequence of bars that kind of wraps up your history. We didn't battle in September in London because you overslept for the train. I didn't want to do a Soul Train bar, but you missed the last departure for a battle, so I fought Soul Train bars. You Cappy smack rappers down to a T. That's how Soul trains bars. All you do is watch a bunch of black people. That's a Soul Train bar. And the way you deliver bar, you deliver it like a smack rapper. You like bark it into his ear. It's great. Like, I've never seen you so physical.
You know what? Like, people always tell me to do one thing and do the other thing, and some people like I think dialect, he was like, the aggression doesn't work in the same way, and I respect his honesty, because that's when I kind of started clowning. Like, he said to me, he goes, I want to see the kind of jokes you had against Big J, because I battled Agent after, and I was just, all I did was shout in his face, and he goes, I want to see that back, you know. And the aggression things for me is, it's kind of hard to fake the aggression for me, because, you know, I'm a person that when I'm aggressive, and when the situation's right, I'm aggressive. So if if something happens outside of battling in my personal life, and I kind of switch, you know, I'm not holding back. There's, you know, that's it. I've gone past the threshold because I've switched, you know, and that's how it is. So once I'm gone, I'm gone. And for me to fake that same sort of aggression put into a battle, it's hard unless I actually hate the person, you know. So so
of course.
that's, you know, that's why I don't really do it as much. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, when you can, it does work. With Soul, don't need the green chemistry for determining Soul's fate. Delicious punch there, really, really nice. Cheers. I mean, the material's outstanding. Soul equally, you know, he has a great intro to his first, where he kind of like, it seems like he's describing you, but he's describing himself.
And you know what? He did that against, I think, Sketch Menace.
Yes, I think he did.
And it's the same sort of style he did in his Raptor battle, where he was like 27. Do you know where he goes 27? It's the same sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Not that you'd think he's describing Raptor, but you think he's talking about something, and he kind of just goes off a bit, and then something clicks. You know, it's the same sort of thing he did there as well, and he's really good at that, man. Like, his intro was amazing against me. Yeah,
it's incredible. He has that sort of just. You're hanging on every word he's saying, because you know that it's kind of melding into different punches, and he just has a really, you know, he goes in on your voice, which I wanted to talk about, which kind of gets, you know, they say he's gassed up. I said on Helium.
Yeah, that was amazing, man. Like, I love to hear what people can say about me, and that's another reason I really wanted to battle Soul, because I knew he'd actually say something that would kind of get to me in a sense. And when he dropped that bath toys line, I was fuck. Like, I was like, shit, I can't even say nothing to that, man. Soul's too good, man.
Yeah, he calls you Tom Jones because the voice is hurting your credibility,
sick.
Which is a dope bar as well. Get into your second. I mean, every round is just jam packed. Everyone knows this is a fucking Don't Flop classic, really. You know, so you talk about this kind of Soul's movement to aggression. Style's like a Western movie. Always have a gun in your bars, which is really nice. And then you mentioned Chad Hugo having this nerd band, which doesn't really get a reaction, because I've got to be honest, I had to check that guy up, man. I didn't really know who he was.
Yeah, it's one of them ones, isn't it? If I said Pharrell, everyone would have been like, oh yeah, you know. But I don't know if it was the multi or something. I don't know if it's because of the multi.
Yeah, no, it was. Fuck your comic books and your collection of stamps too, bro. Chad Hugo.
That's why. Fucking Chad Hugo, you fucked me up, man.
No, it works. I mean, I like that though. I kind of, you know, it's kind of almost Soul-esque. Kind of check that sort of thing, definitely. You know. And then Soul won a new voice. You got in Soul's Lux, as is kind of traditional. You look like you were found on the Swedish road, had a falcon eat your nose, and are about to decompose.
I love the Scottish kind of skinny, like withdrawn face kind of bar.
Just like a falcon eat your nose.
It could happen, man.
Out in the moors, it could. And talk about you got no sense of fashion. You got censors fashion, which Soul takes umbrage with pretty straight away. He's not happy about that bar. He you know, and then the thing that really makes me laugh about this bar is, sorry, not about this bar, about this round, is when you have the incredible bar dudes that shot food like a spud gun. Reaction to that bar is fucking massive. Incredible.
I don't even know what the fucking bar after, and the thing is, the bar after that was actually kind of shit. I think it was something like, so you'll never be nothing once your buzz done. It's not even buzz is done. I just said buzz done or some shit.
Right.
And that's the thing about me finishing stuff. But I got lucky because, you know, the kind of setup was the punch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's another one of those references that kind of bring people back to spud guns and shit. Like, I don't see no grown men playing with spud guns, so it brings you back to your childhood.
Rare, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, it's a dope. And then O'Shea just saying, "Get them spuds out."
Yes.
Just like, and you just hear him crystal clear, kind of above this heavy bar. Is just this Scouser just chatting about potatoes, which at the end of the day is all it's about. And then, Soul is just. Again, another, Ramsey's verse is full of wire bars as well, which is something that I love about Soul. Because in your career, when you've been lost, you've always followed the Star of the North. He has this great kind of, it's very, very Soul. It's very knights and mythic, kind of crusades,
but
done
you
in
want to hear from him, isn't it?
It's vintage Soul, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's the stuff that he's the best at.
100%.
And then in your third is the one that I was talking about when I was cycling, listening to the kind of whole one about Soul's misses online and stuff like that. Having an online relationship's cool. You don't have to take her out for a large meal that's char grilled. The only thing she asks for you is you buy her tokens for Farmville. So, I mean, you kind of do play up to the kind of stereotypes of an online relationship being lame and like. But I think it's done in a really entertaining way, and the crowd are rocking with you.
I tried to make it relatable, really relatable. And I wanted him to understand, because I wanted to kind of talk to him and him think, oh, fuck, some of this does actually happen, and I wanted the people to kind of get an insight on what it'd actually be like to be in an online relationship. That's why I didn't just say, oh, your girl's in a relationship, this and that. I kind of had to, build a scenario around the punch.
No, it works. And Soul's third in retort is just spectacularly good as well. He mentions interestingly that if he were from London, he would have already been the title holder. Obviously, this is his 5th birthday when Tony retained it against Chris. But it's interesting that he already had his sights on it. And obviously, at the time of recording this, Soul has beaten Raptor.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted, man. Like, he knew what he wanted. He hit me up, when was it? A little while ago. And he said about getting the title. He said his plans to get the title. And then he said to go for the 2-on-2. But this was a while ago. I don't think he's got the same plans. But originally he wanted the Don't Flop title, and then he wanted to go for the 2-on-2 title. So that's what his plan was. It's probably changed now, as it does. But yeah, man, he kind of knew what he wanted, and he had an aim and a goal, and he succeeded. And I think his journey is the best journey in Don't Flop. As far as how he's come, and the good thing about him too is he's had a few setbacks and a few slip-ups, and it kind of reminds people that, on your day you can lose, on your day you can win, and a lot of people don't understand that, so they always predict battles, but some battles aren't as predictable as you think, and now Soul's, he's back that amazing, not one round, amazing 3 rounds against Raptor, the best material he's ever had, in my opinion, and the best performance too. And now everyone's saying he's unbeatable, but Soul isn't unbeatable, and he never will be unbeatable. But that doesn't mean he's not, the best or the second best, my top 3. I still think that, but he's still completely beatable, I just don't see many people beating him on his day and their day, and that's how it is.
No, I don't. But I look forward to the challenges ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Soul is dope.
Yeah, although I just said all that, I still don't think anyone's going to beat him.
No.
Not anyone, but I think Soul would have to have a bad performance for someone to beat him, other than Tony. If Tony was on his day, other than Tony, I don't think anyone has a chance, of beating him if Soul is at his best.
No, I can't see it either. He just mixes so many brilliant elements of battling into one package, and he's so unique with his delivery and his whole just vibe. I fucking love Soul.
Yeah.
As we always say, like, inevitably, if anyone's on this podcast and they battled Soul, we're talking about the Soul battle. It definitely happened with most prob.
Yeah, everyone's got respect for that guy, man. Like, there's nothing you can really say to fault him. You know what I mean? It used to be kind of funny because people used to always say, "Oh, he doesn't perform," or "He's a nerdy kind of battler," and they don't like that. And all of a sudden, people change. People's opinions change, which isn't a bad thing. It's definitely not. I'm glad he was able to bring those people on his side, as of I think I've done that as well, not as well as him because I haven't put in the same amount of work, but I think that's what it's about, changing people's opinions. I've had people say to me, "Oh, I used to hate you you know. And now, yeah,
have you?
Yeah. It's
what, at events?
Yeah, like I've had people say, it's like some people, and I respect that because they'll come up to you and tell you, I never rated you before, and then I rated you after that, and you know, and that kind of means a lot, rather than people just sucking up to you. You know, you get a lot of people, a lot of ex-battlers who are maybe on the same level as you or a little bit below in terms of like a tier system, if you want to say that, or popularity, you know, or a name. So they kind of like cling on to you in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Because you're near each other, so they try and cling on to you or feed from you and stuff like that, and they don't exactly tell you the truth, or they're not exactly honest with you in that sense, you know. And a lot of people just get told, oh yeah, that's sick, you know, and it's always good to actually have some feedback. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to get nowhere.
No, it's good that you've adapted as well and grown, and Don't Flop clearly put faith in you, because as soon as 5th birthday was over, I pretty much, maybe was it during, I can't remember now, but they announced Set the Standard 10 pretty soon after, and you were on that card, no doubt influenced by the incredible Soul Battle. I mean, what was did you feel you had a different sort of weight behind you after the Soul Battle?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, you know, when you're not doing as well as you hoped, it kind of knocks you back a little bit, you know. And I was always confident in, you know, my material, even performance in a sense. I'm not really someone who worries too much, you know. I am quite confident. I'm not the most cocky of rappers. I'm kind of humble and a bit more complacent in a sense, you know. I think it's just because it's just how I am. I'm just relaxed in general, so a lot of things don't, you know, excite me or entertain me in the same way that they do other people. So I think that's what, you know, all of that was about. But after that battle, man, it was like people finally understood me, you know, and understood what I was trying to do. So it kind of works. And I think once you have that weight behind your name, it helps carry you through your battles anyway, you know. Because if I'd battled him before the Soul Battle, it might not have even had the same sort of feel or reaction. I don't know. And I still could have done better against him. Like my first round, I just kind of wanted to rap. You know, that's what it's all about. I wasn't, you know.
Yeah, it's very bar heavy.
Yeah, it's all it was. And it was one of them ones where if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. You know, but I'm going to list a bunch of bars, and that's just how it is, you know.
So this battle against him...
There's a reason you stopped getting battles. Stop whining, prove your spot. It has nothing to do with her liking you or not. You stopped getting battles because you was kind of falling off. M, thinking he's a true G right now. Looking like he went to knots and came back with Brucey's eyebrows.
This came about just asking you, do you want another battle, or were you asking around, or?
I think I asked for the battle. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was. Maybe someone else said it. I think someone else recommended it, and he's another one. Im was someone I felt I had something to prove against. So Soul was the same. I think Shox in a sense was the same. Not actually, it wasn't the same because I was confident. I thought I was going to kill Shox, to be honest.
Right.
Because I think Shox's performance then was a complete step up from any performance he had. And I still think now it's his best battle now. Like his best performance now is still against me. Yeah. Even though he's had his internationals, you know. So
I agree. Yeah. For sure, man. And so we get into the battle, and like you say, the first is jam-packed full of bars. Take it back to the old. Take it back to year 9 for Happy Slap. You talk of Im beating Tony back in the day as well. Which is quite an old battle, I believe.
Yeah, I think Tony choked the third round. Right. I think he was mad high and he just didn't recognise his bars. But I think that's the highest I've ever seen Tony in a battle too.
That is a claim.
So I think that has more to do with it, you know. Hopefully you have him on here soon. Mention it, you know, bring it up.
I shall.
Yeah, so it was kind of, you know, in the same sense, you know, where people bring up their old battles and they say, oh yeah, but I beat him back in the day. Yeah. And it's not really applicable to nowadays because that person would kill you now in a sense. And that's kind of the approach I had against him.
Yeah, and there's loads of good bars in his first. Play Pictionary and bring his whole imagery into question. And you going about Im's fancies against Joker Star. Imagine Im shooting Joker's whole family with no motive but battle rap. What the fuck is that about? And you know, again, the strained incredulity of this whole thing, like The Simpsons. Too much credit for running in a house. Great stuff. Im has a long first round.
Yeah, he does that, man.
Like, he just...
Yeah, very long material.
Yeah, and none of it, I mean, personally, you know, no offense to him, was really hitting with me that much. You know, a mountain, those sort of things. Not too much kind of creativity. He has this long mafiosa scheme. Lots of Sopranos cliche imagery, which comes with a nice punch at the end, kind of going in at you with your personal angle and sort of saying, the dirt you'll be digging will be for your own grave, sort of thing. But it's kind of... You know, he talks about Socrates' philosophies unironically, and it's kind of quite difficult to enjoy. Whereas I think your second as well, more personal to him. Talk about how I didn't like him or didn't like him. I mean, him for me was just kind of fading as a figure in battling. Not you know, obviously he was around when I was watching it out, but when I was really getting into it, like 2012 kind of thing, he was a bit earlier than that, wasn't he? He kind of had that element to him. Thinking he's a true G right now. Looks like he went to Knots and came back with Brucey's eyebrows. It's just
effective.
Yeah, it's effective, man. And then a great ender to the round as well. Been mid-tier for years. You can go hiking on this mountain. There's no climbing. I'm so silent when you catch this whoop whoop, like 5-0 sirens, high pitched with heavyweight punches. They know me as Old Tyson, meaning one thing: I'm a Don King. I promote violence.
Yes. Yeah, I still love that.
Yeah,
man.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught that, man.
Yeah, love that bar.
You know, I don't know what the reaction was like, but
it wasn't. It was okay.
Yeah, I always say this. I kind of battle for people on YouTube. I always, you know,
Real
I still
shit.
want a reaction, but to be honest, I only really battle for the people that watch it back because they're gonna watch it back more than once, and they're gonna form a better opinion, you know. So that's kind of why I battle for them, and I get the best feedback from those kind of people. You know, it's not really people after a battle that come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, that was good, but you could do this and that." You know, it's always the people online. So those are the people that, you know, I aim to please.
And are you? I mean, do you attend events regularly, or are you more just kind of there when you're battling, or?
No, I go to a lot of events. Yeah, definitely go to a lot. Last year I didn't. You know, I think I took about 7 months out because I was getting too negative.
Right.
You know, I was kind of like, I'd say a bit sour about not getting battles I want, and I felt like, you know, like I don't really feel the same way now, but I felt like because me and Soul put on such a good battle, and you know I wasn't paid for that, and you know he didn't have to fly us out, or you know he wasn't. I think spoke about how much money he had to spend to bring people out, and I kind of thought, well, this one was free, and it was probably your best battle, or one of them, you know. Yeah. And a lot of people said to me it was the best battle. I would never say that unless people have said that to me. So I kind of thought like maybe I should be, you know, given internationals and shit like that, or put on a better path. And I didn't really get that, so I became a little bit, you know, a little bit sour about it, I'd say. You know, and I'll admit that as well, man. Like I'll always admit things. And I've seen some other battlers kind of diss online because they're not getting the kind of progression that they want. Yeah. You know, I think Hulk was one. You know, I'm not going to talk about it too much. It's his business. You know, but I noticed he had a few things to say towards, and it's all public knowledge anyways. Yeah. So, I didn't really want to go through that route because I felt like had still done quite a lot for me, you know, and even giving me the first chances back with JC and people like that, you know, if he hadn't have brought me back, I wouldn't have battled. So I had to look at it like that. And, you know, you go to events and everyone's shit talking and you don't really know who, you know, I'm not saying it's completely two-faced, but there are parts of it that is, and I wanted to kind of step away from it because I was getting too involved in it. And I didn't want to end up like disliking or having some grudge over him because he's not giving me the battles that I want. So I thought, let me step away. I think about 7 months I stepped away for. I still watched battles online, but I just thought, you know, it's too much negativity, man. Like I'm just too stressed out. Things are pissing me off. People are pissing me off. I'm watching battlers and I'm just hating on them for no reason. Oh, this guy's not good, or you know, I'm always picking at things. You know, Villain used to tell me just like, no, I see it from this perspective. You know, he always kind of brought me around and made me realize that I was just kind of being an arsehole. And that I had to just step out of it, and I came back, and I just enjoy it as a fan now. So I don't really care what these other battlers do and what they're doing, and it worked. You know, it worked, and I think it's the best thing I've done since being in Don't Flop.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't go to Checkpoint Lunacy. I didn't go to that, but you know, I thought, nah, I just want to stay away from it all. I think the next event I went to was, I think maybe Willsy's tryout or something. Was it Willsy's tryout? Or maybe it was the year after. I don't know if Willsy tried out. I think them not tried out the year before, but I think it was like a Rapping It Park or one of them ones. It was in August time because I just got back from America. I went on holiday, and so I just stepped away, and then now I'm just completely different, man. Like, I'm not trying to get these battles anymore. If they come my way and, you know, it interests me, then sure, I'll take it. You know, I'm not quitting. I have no plans to quit. I don't really battle a lot anyway, you know, 3 times, maybe 4 in 1 year is the most I've ever done. So
you like hollow.
I just kind of like to keep it fresh, man. And, you know, people want to see you more than, you know, especially since the Shox battle, I've had a lot of people saying, I want to see you battle more. And it's just like, yeah, but, you know, I want to choose the right battles. I don't want to force it, you know, and that's why I don't really battle, because I could battle anyone. You know, if I really wanted to, give me a battle tomorrow, as long as it's the right sort of opponent in that sense, or someone he's not going to have to fork out, you know, loads of money for, and, you know, he's not going to gain nothing because it's not the right battle. I don't know, you know, whatever the reasons are behind it, you know, I'm sure there's good enough reasons, but I could still battle tomorrow if I wanted to battle someone like Crafty or someone like that.
That would be a dope clash.
Yeah, maybe one day.
He's
man,
very good. I mean,
I like him. Yeah, no, he's sick, man. Like, he's definitely sick.
He's underrated.
I kind of do want to battle him in a sense.
Him versus Villain would be good as well.
Yeah, that would be a good battle, definitely, man. I think Vil, you know, once he just kind of puts more effort, because I think with him most of it's just effort. Like, he has the potential to be the best, or if not one of the best. You know, I mean, look at the Unan round, man. No one can fault him for that. That's him at his best. And the worst thing is, he's so much better now as a writer that it's just, you know, he just needs to get back into the swing of things and get back used to it. You know, because when he battled Raptor, I think the scene had changed too much in that year. So he battled DNA, took the time off, battled Raptor, and, you know, it didn't have the same effect. Like, I still like his material, you know, but for some reason, I don't know. I think a lot of it was to do with the venue. Like, the venue was so biased. It's the most biased venue venue I've ever been to. Not venue, but, you know, biased crowd.
Yeah, Manchester.
Yeah, like, it was so biased to the point that, you know, some people were getting booed before they even rapped. You know, Bam wasn't given a chance. You know, and, you know, Tony only, you know, stood a chance because Tony was Tony and Tony was champion. If Tony was 2 battles in, no one would give him the same time of day, you know. So Tony done well in that sense, but no one really cared about Villain the same way because, you know, Raptor had been kind of on everyone's tongue at that point, you know. And I think with him, Raptor, he was a funny one because it wasn't until the Tony D battle that I felt like that he impressed me, or I even thought he was
I agree.
really that great. Like, he was alright, but to be honest, like,
his Words of Weapons battles were good, and then he kind of fell off a bit with Don't Flop.
Like, the acapella battle rap was like, it's completely different, and I felt like he was, because he was being pushed by I kind of thought that affected him, in my opinion. Although everyone else loved it, it's not what I wanted to see. I felt like Raptor was better than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like he was getting praised way too early, and he, you know, he's got so much more potential than that. And then he battled Tony and made it debatable. And I think, you know, if anyone does that, then fair play, man. And I can't say nothing, you know. So with him, you know, he's doing the right thing. Now, luckily, it worked out for him because he could have just hit a brick wall and then not gone anywhere. But luckily, that Tony battle came. But I think if he'd battled someone else, maybe the hunger wouldn't have been the same, and I don't think he would have impressed me the same, you know, after that. You know, I thought he was good in the Soul battle, but that was another thing. Like, I felt like he was way too confident because, you know, he's got such a big fan base behind him now that it hasn't brought him back down to earth in that sense. And I think it can hinder his performance and his outlook. You know, not to say he doesn't have bars or he wasn't good in that battle, but I still feel like even though Soul came as good as he could, I do feel like Raptor could have come better because he came better against Tony. His Tony material was much better than his Soul material because I felt like he tried too hard against Soul to get title. You know, he was already saying, the new champion.
Yeah.
All fans. And I think that's when he lost. I think he lost as soon as
it was
him
cringy
and fans
when he was doing that.
Yeah, it was a little bit,
Yeah.
to be honest. And not just like because he said it, but because it kept going, like, you know, like they were
It
onto
caught
something.
on,
And then it completely backfired. You know what I mean? And
Horribly.
that's why you got to be humble and careful. And Soul just stays away and then turns up and battles. Soul's clever. I said to Soul, after he battled Raptor, I said, how do you feel now, man? Like, sick. Like, I was congratulating him. And he was like, oh, the same, to be honest. He goes, I don't really care. Literally, that is Soul. He doesn't actually do it to impress anyone, you know. And the weird thing is, he knows how good he is. Raptor knows how good he is, but Raptor applies it in a different way. So I think that's kind of what hinders Raptor. But he's still sick, man. Since that Tony battle, I can't really say anything bad about him.
No.
You know.
No, I agree. Even though
he's a bit fucking loud, though.
Yeah.
Well, you see him at events, always fucking talking. I'm like, Raptor, shh. I said to Raptor the other day, I was like, if you had my voice, we wouldn't have a problem, but you don't. I can get away with fucking not talking, you know. No one can fucking hear me as it is. So, yeah, man. But nah, Raptor's a cool person, man. Like,
oh yeah, he's awesome.
I respect, like, I know him in that sense. I don't know him really well, but I've spoken to him. I've tried to help him out about his custom situation. You know, he's helped me out before, so there's kind of a mutual respect there. So I don't really see him as this battler that everyone else sees him as, and I kind of know that he actually deep down is a cool, humble person. You know, he's not a dickhead. He just kind of goes off on one a little bit because that's how he is, you know, and that's what it is.
Well, we go into your next battle with Unan.
Me talking about his farmyards giving him flashbacks to younger days. Cause shit like that really hits home like a hurricane. You got no fan base in London, you ain't travelling for money. He's from a place where everyone's an addict or a junkie. A place so rural they don't know what kebab is or a curry. And now he's come to the bits to battle cause he's hungry. But no one wants to see this kid rock stick to rapping in the country.
Which is obviously formidable opponent for anyone. I mean, at this point in his career, if you want to go into the older days when, you know, he was much more aggressive and dragon rappy, which is kind of I prefer. Like, I guess, I don't know when this... Oh, no, this would have been just after the Chris Lease battle, which I think is one of his best performances. He gives a fucking dynamite 3 rounds in that battle. Like, he has this part where he like imagines Chris Lease's life like a Iraq war vet that is addicted to like warfare and can't go home and talk to their kids. It's like really deep. It's really good. Yeah, you know, people sort of glaze over Unan, but I think he deserves a lot more respect.
They sleep on him so much, man, and I think it's his attitude.
He definitely is.
So shit sometimes, and other times he's cool as fuck, and that's what the problem is, like online, and that's why I can't do this. That's the same as the aggression. I can't be someone I'm not in a sense, and he kind of can online. You know, he kind of gets carried away. He's trying to, you know, handle it, but it's so easy to get lost in the world of social media. You know, so it kind of he does that, you know, and he says things that he shouldn't really say, or he doesn't actually realize how many people are looking at this, you know. But that battle, like when he battled me, I said to him, you need to do that more, man. The funny shit, that was personally, like, I liked his style before, but I don't feel he was getting, he was as progressive with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it did him as many favors as the comedy did when it came out of him, the humor. So I said to him, you need to do that more after the battle. You know, that's what I said to him. But it was a good battle.
So
man.
why was this a one rounder?
Yeah, Unan fucking about.
Oh right.
Yeah, he's long. I'll say. We was meant to battle for Bam's birthday.
Yeah, you do say that in the battle. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really want to battle, to be honest. I was kind of, you know, just chilled. I don't know, like, I've never really had the hunger to battle all the time. Yeah. I've had hunger to battle, but it's always like it had to be the right person. I've had to want it. Had to want it, and then Bam needed some battles for his birthday. I said, "Oh, cool! I'll do you a favor in a sense." So we done. He booked a battle or whatever, and then Unan cancelled. I think a few days before.
Right.
And he said a dentist appointment. And the problem is, I booked time off work to battle.
Yeah.
So I lost out on money, and I was really pissed off. And then the day before the battle, the second time, he said he's not doing it. And because he knew, I think he knew he pissed me off, and he knew I wanted this. Do you know what I mean? And I think he was a bit shook. you know, he'll probably say different, but I think he was shook. And then so he basically, well, no, he was definitely shook because what, you know, with what I tell you next, he said, he's not doing it. He said, I don't. He said, I don't really care. I said, what's your reason? He goes, I don't really care or something. So I went nuts on him. I was like, you know, I was ready to fucking confront him.
Yeah.
And you know, if he had caught me at that point, then a fight probably would have broken out. I had time to kind of let it marinate and settle by the next day. But I was still pissed off. You know what I mean? I was still pissed off at him. I said to him, when you see me, don't talk to me like we're cool or nothing. And the funny thing is, as soon as I got off the station, the first person that came up to me was Unan, looking for the event. And I think I stood there for about 10 seconds and I just looked at him and I thought, I was looking at him, I just didn't know what to do. And I was like, you know what, it's cool. And I just kind of I just dropped everything. And then I kind of just settled it in my own head. I didn't even really talk to him. I thought, we're going to battle. I'll let the battling do the talking. I don't need to, you know, tell you about yourself right now. So that's what happened there. But the reason it was 1 round is because he said I won't do it unless it's 1 round. It was 3 rounds. And the day before I had to just put all my rounds together. Otherwise I would have done it better. But it kind of threw me off and it kind of pissed me off. So
is it hard in terms of memory? Because like I've battled a little bit in very amateur leagues, but like it's always good to have the kind of little break between just to kind of gather your thoughts. It must be hard to do like a consecutive 9 minutes.
Do you know what I think it is? I think with Unan, he knows, you know, he needs a long round to win. And if he'd gone at me with what he had, because I think he had about 6 minutes of material, if he broke that down into 2-minute rounds, I don't think his style caters for that. And I think my style completely would have beat him in 3 rounds. That's what I think as far as consistency goes and stuff like that. So I think he knew that that's what would have happened in that sense. So he thought a longer round would do him an advantage. But what he didn't count on is the fact that I try and punch very often. So it doesn't actually matter how long your round is. I'm still going to fucking punch you the whole way throughout the round. So, you know, either way, you know, he was going to lose it in my mind. You know. Yeah,
and he kicks us off. He invites you to mention his ex-bitch and his mother's addiction. He states that his opponents always bring that A game against him, which I think is mostly true, actually.
Yeah, definitely, man.
You know, people do turn up to go. Unan is charming as ever, talking about the whole girlfriend angle, saying she was whack at sucking dick, so I fucking snuffed the bitch. That's nice there. And then he just has some good flips as well, spread English across the screen like subtitles. You're like a T-1000 in the Terminator used act hard. Me, I'll turn your bones to liquid and leave you broken English like Jamaican patois.
Yeah.
He has some quite funny left field approaches as well, kind of similar with Cracker with the starting, you know, middle for your round. He asks whether your accent is from North London or North Korea.
Fucking prick.
And then, like, it's funny you talk about the long form rounds as well, because there are moments in this long form round where he'll just charge up and he'll get aggression again, and he'll go for like some sort of haymaker, and then he'll retreat to kind of the more patois stuff, or kind of like, you know, the more. So he does that with the whole you're still one of those little fuckwits that Rowan makes suck dick for a bus trip, and he delivers that really, really well as well. I mean, what did you think of his round?
I liked it. I don't think it was, you know, hit as hard as it should have or could have, but you know, that style was the style that I wanted to see, and that's why I said to him after the battle, I said to him, that's what I want to see, man. I want to see your humor, because to be honest, 6 minutes about dragons and this and that isn't going to work, because I can outbar you, so it's just not going to work. And I think he took the right approach against me. I think at the time he kind of viewed me below him, so that's why he said about suck dick for a bus trip, all that, because he kind of put me beneath him, and I was, in a sense, you know, I was a lot newer, you know.
I mean, Unan had battled Diz, like, you know.
He, you know, he was on a roll, so he has every right to say that, you know, so it's not really a problem.
Yeah, of course. And your round, again, obviously you're saying is compounded through the 3. You go in and you talk about Unan cancelling for Bam's birthday. You go in on the farmer angle. You might have a gun, but you still milk a cow. And how Unan works on a farm. He didn't know if he should battle disaster or not because he had to harvest his crops. This whole long form scheme as well. You were talking about the whole cracker shotting coke, which we can't seem to let go of for some reason. You know, you go into this kind of farmyard.
Oh yeah.
Bingo.
The thing is, he said Unan's a funny guy because he said he lived in a farm or something. I don't know if it was online, but I never would have said that if he hadn't said it. And he had a video. I think it was a vlog for King of the Dot when he battled HFK, and he was out in a field or some shit.
Oh right.
So yeah. So it's all things I took from him. And then I think after the battle, he's like, I don't even live on a farm. I live in a townhouse, or I don't even know. But he's very like that. The same as the mum, the drug addiction thing. I've heard him say that it's true before. He put up a verse of his on Facebook, like just a written verse, and I think that's how Villain got the angle. I'm not sure, but I think he got the angle from that, saying something about his mum's addiction.
Interesting.
So that and I don't know if Unan will say, "Oh, that's true," or I don't know what's true, but it's the same thing as the farm thing. So I used that, because I thought it was a good angle to use. He said it himself. I think he's probably even said it in battles. I don't know if he's actually denied it. I'm not too sure.
He's against Euphorical. He says he's from Yorkshire and sort of Plymouth. Sorry, he's like a farmer boy and all that sort of stuff. And exactly. He plays an angle quite a bit anyway. Yeah. You talk about his girl blowing Diz in a hotel room. She was on Diz like Ravers in Fabric. What does that mean?
What that was?
I didn't know.
Oh, Fabric's a club.
Oh
in
right.
London. Yeah, so that's what that is.
But Diz on Diz, like Ravers in
Diz, as in MD. That's like,
okay. That's my ignorance there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
My Midland ignorance.
Or maybe you do. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no.
No, his girl tweeted him or Instagrammed him. And that's how I got that angle. I don't know if he was talking about Who Wants to Come Back to My Home. I don't even know. I think he was in a hotel. But I just kind of saw that, and I took that angle from that and made it what it was.
Interesting. And kind of dark angle about Unan's mother comforting his ex about being beaten. Yeah, babe, let it bruise you. I know from experience, smack takes some getting used to.
You know what? Okay, someone told me... that he used to hit his girl,
right.
He hit his girl, and I know I'm not going to say their name because they are a snitch, what I mean, a complete snitch, because they proper snitched on him and told me this, and so I knew about that angle, and I think no one knew about it at the time, so I think I used that angle first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, but so what was it? So yeah, this person told me that angle, and then Unan hit me up about 2 days later. And he goes, oh, has my ex talked to you? He goes, because she's been chatting shit. He goes, has she spoken to you? And I said to him, nah, she hasn't. And then the very next day, she hit me up.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I didn't feel bad about it because she hit me up, but I wasn't lying to him. I said to him no, and then the next day she just so happened to hit me up. And she was telling me stuff. She wanted me to get him like proper bad, man. I was gonna like, I'll say it. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to lie here because I've got nothing to hide. Yeah. I got no hard feelings against Unan, but except for the fact he pissed me off at the time. Like he was a proper cunt at the time. Since then, I've had no problem. And no, he'll probably tell you the same. Yeah. That he was a cunt towards me, and I wanted to fucking. Like his girl was on getting him back, so I wanted to wear a t-shirt of his girl's ass on my yeah. So we had plans to. She was like said to me she'll do it. Take a picture of her ass and write my name on her ass. And so I said to her, yeah, cool, let's do this. And then she was kind of like, yeah, but I've got no one to write the name on for me, sort of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and she didn't want to do it on her chest because. I don't know if she, I don't know how big her chest was, but I had a feeling she wasn't as comfortable on her chest. I don't even think I asked for her tits. It could have been like just a shirt or bra. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to see her tits. Yeah, there's nothing like that, man. I wasn't trying to come onto his girl or nothing, but. Yeah. So yeah, I did kind of want to have this cunning scheme because I wanted to ruin his life because he the way he was towards me wasn't acceptable, and I'm not like that as a person. So he offended me, and I really wanted to get him back, and I think she bottled it or something. I don't really know what happened, or maybe we just both just thought, fuck it, just leave it. I think in the end, I didn't really want to get him back like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is
like my morals kind of kicked in. Yeah, of course, man. Of course, it's stupid, man. I'd never do something like that now. But it would have been funny as fuck. You know what I mean? Okay. But it's not nice, and it's his private life. and I don't actually know what happened. She told me a few things. I had someone else hit me up and say that they was at a party with Unan trying to tell me personal stuff, and I said to them, look, before you tell me, I said I don't even want to know. I said I've got one angle, which was the girl angle. I felt like I needed to touch on it because you know, technically, you know, she said it, someone else told me that as well, and you know, her and this other person, you know, I didn't speak to her about this other person, so she doesn't know that this person told me. So it was just her coming to me and telling me this angle. She didn't go into detail, but she just said, I think he hit her or something. So I thought, fuck it. And then I tried to correlate his mum into the scheme. You know what I mean? Especially
it's battle rap, bitch.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's battle rap, and that's the thing that like I learnt from battling. Like I used to try and take it easy on people, and then these motherfuckers, they come for your throat. They don't give a fuck. So I was like, you know what? If they're gonna come for me, like I need to change my mind state, and I need to just go for them. You know, and that's the point. Like even Soul, like I felt bad spitting that third round against Soul. Like, even though it was funny, like I was gonna use her name, and I thought, you know what? It's not like that's where my manners kicked in. I was like, it's not polite to use her real name in a battle. She's nothing to do with this. Do you know what I mean? So I left it out. You know, maybe I don't know if Soul's used other people's names in battles or what, but that's just how I am. No, so I was like, no, I'm not.
C Major actually says her name in the title match.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember C Major saying it, and that's the thing. I wasn't going to do that. Because I felt it was a bit disrespectful. I kind of do in a sense. You know. To name, I do.
It's a little fun.
Not that. Yeah. I don't hold nothing against C for doing it, and I don't think he's a cunt necessarily.
No, he's
doing it. I just feel he probably shouldn't have said her name. That's it.
No.
But you know, it is what it is. And so I don't think Soul really cared that much.
No.
Yeah. So Unan, I just wanted to destroy, man. Like that's all my intentions was to do what Villain did. You know, it didn't work quite the same, but I watched it back the other day. I never watched my battles, and I think Blizzard put it on or something, or maybe Dialect, I don't know, but someone put it on, and I think it was Blizzard. He goes, that's my favorite battle from you.
Oh, really?
So I watched it back about a week ago, and I was like, right, like, I actually killed him. Like,
I
was cracking up, but you know, I'm not even trying to, you know, be all egotistical and shit, man.
Definitely.
But like, I thought I definitely won that, and I was at a party with Unan, New Year's, this New Year's. And he was drunk, he was cracking jokes, and he was going up to everyone saying, oh, I bodied you. And then he was like, oh, Villain's the only person I haven't beaten. And he's like, oh, but I fucking bodied you, old. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, have your opinion, have your moment. Like, it's cool, you know. You're not causing any harm. So, yeah, man. Like, it's a good battle, man. I'm glad he agreed to it.
Yeah, no, it is a good battle. And just to wrap it up on the battle, actually, you leap off the whole smack text I'm getting used to talking about him being down for Lease, and you like Chris Lease, and you're like, yes, the chance of beating another partner, I'd gladly accept.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, one angle can, you know, string so many other things.
Yeah,
along,
Unan called you a cunt straight away, as you say that. Like, clearly.
Do you know what? And that's how I know I got someone, because I always said I don't care if I lose the battle. If I get that kind of reaction, to me, I've won. And I think, I don't know if it's when I mentioned Soul's girl or his dead dog, which I didn't, you know, I had worse bars for that, you know. I had something like every dog has their day, or I don't even know, but I had worse bars for his dog. And then even then, like, my morals kicked in again, and I'm a dog lover, so I was like, oh fuck, man, I can't say that, that's too harsh. His dog's just, you know, died or something. Or I think at the time his dog was being put down and hadn't died yet. Do you know what I mean? Right. So he was about to die, and he told me his dog's being put. No, he said online in a tweet. He goes, "Oh, something like he's upset his dog's being put down." So yeah, like, I'd never do that now, you know. But back then I didn't give a fuck. So I used that, you know, and I think Soul called me a cunt as well. And I think from the moment he called me a cunt, I was like, you know what? I've won this because he called me a cunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's pissed off, and I was cool about it. So that's how I, you know, and Unan, I did the same thing.
No, and it's a fantastic battle, as you say. Both of you bring it. I think you do out punch Unan, and he has great moments, but a kind of a little bit of filler here and there. But you know, you have really good stuff going all the way through the round, and have a few battles between this and our final battle. How did you feel about this run, Bowski and Briggsy? I mean, did you feel you were progressing from the Unan, or just quickly, you know, on these two?
It's fun. Yeah, Bowski, I said I'll do. He spoke to me about a year before. He's like, oh, I want to battle you, and I kind of put it off because I didn't feel like he was the kind of challenge I wanted.
Yeah.
But But I did agree to it, and I'm a man of my words. I said to him that July, about a year later, I said to him, I owe you a battle. You know, I wanted to battle. I said, I owe you one. I said to you last year that we'll battle, you know, so let's do it. And then, what was the other battle?
Briggsy.
Oh, Briggsy, yeah. Briggsy was like, it was more to do with, because he battled Bam, and I still think Bam is the better battler. You know, definitely, that's my opinion. And, you know, he kind of, you know, according to the crowd and some people, bodied Bam or completely beat Bam. I think most of it was the venue. You know, Bam's, you know, his whole attitude changed when he realized he wasn't getting any feedback. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he was just kind of demotivated from that, and I felt like Briggsy wasn't as good as everyone else was saying he was. I kind of wanted to show everyone that by kind of getting revenge back. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I thought, you know what, that kind of hurt Bam a bit. I said, let me come in there, show people what I do, and show it was just a one-off thing. And, you know, I think, like, he was good against Villain, but I think, you know, he kind of faded again a bit. He didn't really live up to that same expectation as he did in the Bam battle, and I think I proved my point, you know. But it's not like I'm a Briggsy fan now, man. Like, he battled Villain, and he was funny. I still think Villain got that. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah, but my attitude's changed as well. Like now I wouldn't give a fuck, so I wouldn't battle Briggsy. But even a year ago, you know, I still kind of wanted to get him back. You know what I mean? It might be a bit sad. I don't know. Like,
no. I mean, these are the things that push forward battles. You know, you need these kind of emotions.
It inspired me. I wasn't really inspired to write for Briggsy. I went into the battle thinking I was going to win it, but I kind of wanted to show everyone that, you know, this is what I do. You know, and I kind of like being the guy that everyone wants to either step up against, or I feel like I kind of like him. I battled him, and I don't think he's ever battled again.
No, he hasn't
since. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of wanted to prove to people, like, and I think that's why a lot of people don't want to battle me now, because they feel like if they lose to me, then, you know, although they still rate me, I think if they feel like they lose to me, it kind of takes a bit of credibility away from them. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not top tier in that sense. I don't have that sort of stature and character to carry me through, because I'm just me at the end of the day, and I don't try and entertain people the same way that others might. You know, not that everyone is fake. I'm not saying that. Like, Tony's a naturally funny person, and he's charismatic, so it comes out. You know, some people are completely different. So that's what I wanted to do. I had a goal, and I thought, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna do it.
So this was the birthday 6.5 event. So this was just at the end of the year then? Oh, no, sorry, it was early, wasn't it? It was early January. And then you would battle Shox at the final event of the year.
December.
Final battle of Don't Flop of that year, headlining.
See, you're a side man, like a Lions man. As soon as we get rid of Bleak, there's another. A 23 Jump Street extra. I'm thinking, is he undercover? Bruv, Tony D is your younger. He wasn't
Right, no, it was a Christmas card.
Christmas. It was meant to be on Right Club.
Yeah, what happened to that? Oh no, the Shox had some issue, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a disagreement, right. And he called me up, and it was a few days before the battle, and he's like, he goes, he goes, it's not confirmed yet. He goes, I'm gonna call you tonight and let you know for definite. Because I said to him, it was about 3-4 days. I said, I finished right, and I said, just do me a favor and let me know soon, because I take a little while to prep, and I don't want you to spring it on me the day before, and then, you know. And he's like, no, of course. So he called me that night and said it's not going down. And to be honest, my material wasn't as good, and it was a bit all over the place. I didn't, you know, work it out right. So I'm kind of glad when he said, oh, I don't want to do it, I was kind of relieved. And then it went down on a Christmas card, and, you know, I was ready by that time.
Yeah. And I mean, going into this, you must have respected Shox. Obviously, the guy is you know, not only a great battler. Please check out the first episode of this podcast was about Shox.
I've listened to that. Man. Shox is a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and this must have been something that was. I mean, this is a big challenge. He was coming off, you know, his Sleepy G battle. I mean, I know he himself is not that proud of his Kojo battle, but there's still some great material in that. The Cracker battle's awesome. Definitely. You know, the guy's.
Yeah, he's been good, man. Definitely. Like, he's put in a solid performance throughout. You know, up to that point.
Yeah, no, totally. And you begin, obviously his first is full on as hell. Like, you know, he's
yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, his energy comes out of nowhere. He was saying actually that Shox was saying in the podcast when we had him on that his first round had you sweating, or it was quite intimidating. Yeah.
I was stinking, man. I don't even know what time that was, but I was fresh out the shower, man. I must have had a shower about 4 hours before.
Yeah.
And I remember just taking my coat off, and I just smelt my BO, and I was like, "Rah, man, I'm sweating too." Like he actually made me sweat. Like I smelt myself, man. And I cleaned that day. I'm not a dirty person, man. So I was clean up until that round. Do you know what I mean? And then I was sweating, and I came into that battle so confident, like I knew it well. I like my material. I think my hunger's not there. It's not the same, and that's why I didn't do as well. You know, there's a lot, especially after his first round. I kind of just didn't perform the same. You know, I kind of stepped it up in a sense as well. But there's other punches. I think the third round I lost momentum in some parts. You know, I think one part I looked down at him instead of in his face. I don't know why I did it. I think it was just my mood. And but before the battle, I thought I was going to kill him, and he said, "Oh, do you want it judged or do you not?" And I said, originally, I'm not afraid, bro. I'm going to beat you, and if I don't, fair play, you deserve it. That's how my attitude was. And so he was like, I think he said, let's have it promo or something, because he saw I was confident, and I thought I was going to kill him. And I say this, and Shox saw the confidence. He knew it. He looked at it. He goes, how do you feel? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. And he was like, I'm a bit, you know, he wasn't too confident. And it literally just completely went the opposite way in a sense. I don't think I done bad, man. I still think it was a good battle. You know? No,
it was a good battle. And, you know, you start off with what kind of grown man's called Rebel, which is very true, you know. Thinking, who did this guy murder? You look like my youth worker. There's a lot of sort of clowning on Shox here, his age. Tony D is your younger, which is hilarious. He was in PE with your brother. You kind of draw out the duplicity of Shox's life, his kind of criminal life, his 9-to-5 life, the consequences, you know.
Like, he spoke about that, and he goes, I don't even have a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And I said to him, that's exactly why I did it, because you know you don't have one, and I just said you had one, so it's kind of get you in a sense. Do you know what I mean? If I said, oh, you know, you work these hours, or you do whatever you do, he'd just be like, oh, yeah, I know. So I wanted to make him out to be the family man that works a 9-to-5. I wanted to discredit him in that sense, because I knew whether it worked for the fans, I knew he'd pick up on it, and he did, because he mentioned it.
Yeah, no, totally. And yeah, the sort of loads of just clever little writing that, again, you were talking about your delivery, looking down and stuff, that you don't kind of sell the bar so well. So if you don't take it down a peg, they're going to hang you out to dry. Is like a set the body in stone kind of Briggsy bar. That's really nice.
Yeah, I like to do bars like that. I like a lot of idioms as well.
Yes,
man. Like, I'm a big fan of idioms.
Yes, that's true actually. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot.
Yeah. If your knowledge of idioms is good enough, you know, and I'm always one for phrases and stuff like that. My mum's quite quick-witted as well, and we have a lot of banter. So that's kind of the approach I like to take. And I had the whole prison angle and then the clothes angle, same as the Briggsy suit angle. And I followed it with punches that were applicable but might not be as funny towards the angle. Even though the angle's funny, I like to bring punches in, because then it shows you that I can still touch on the same thing but have a punch about it. So yeah, that's why I do those kind of punches.
No, they're good. And then you have a more kind of universal punch that probably gets your biggest reaction. Change your tune. You'll know Genghis Khan. Not everyone relates to you.
Yeah. I didn't know that would even get it. My favourite bar, the worst thing is my favourite bar was my blackjack bar, which you won't see my hand till my hands till the hit 21. That was my favourite bar. Like, it still is. But the Genghis Khan one was so much more relatable, you know, and I don't think it's ever really been used in a battle, and it is quite common knowledge. Yeah,
no, it's kind of that niche between the two.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing to start upon. And then you talk about how in the second we do a flip. Villa doesn't sleep on your couch; he's in your garage. Garage. Yeah. Talk about how Shox loves you versus Soul and watched it a bunch and bunch.
He said
times.
that to me, you know. He I was at a Gift to the Gab event, and he was like, because he said I saw it from a tweet, but I didn't see it from a tweet. I saw him at the event, and he goes, oh yeah, I seen your Soul battle, man. He goes, I watched it 50 times. Like, I'm not joking. Like, literally, that's what he said to me. Yeah. So I thought, this is hilarious. Like, as much as I appreciate it, like, and I still do, man. It means a lot. But I can still take something out of it and use it as an angle, you know. And someone said that I used the angle about him watching it 50 times, and they said they didn't like it as too drawn out. Why did I go into the 21.7 hours? I thought, you know what, I still love it. I thought it's funny. I thought it was a good angle to take to actually work out how many hours he spent watching my battle. I thought it was very applicable to the point I was trying to make, whether or not it was kind of drawn out or whatever.
No, it works. It does work, and you do have that long form style in these rounds. It seems where you're kind of not focusing quite like Soul, where it's like this really intense punch style, to kind of like more longer style, but it's still quite engaging. You do a long section on Shox titling himself the Verbal Assassin. And you suggest a solution to ISIS of all their murders and stabbing. Just need some planning. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Verbal Assassin. And which is really good as well. So much clowning. And then in your third, the jacket comes off because clearly, Shox was
sweating,
white hot in this battle. Like, who'd want to be in front of those rounds? Like, crazy.
Yeah, do you know what? I've never felt that much pressure, and I don't think I will. Because I don't. The crowd was just rocking with him, man. Like, they was rocking with him, and it's not to say his materials doesn't live up to that, but he controlled the room that day, and sometimes that's what it's about. I could have spat Shox around to someone, and it wouldn't have got the same reaction, because me and him are two different people, and I have to kind of use my weaknesses as my strengths more than a lot of people do, I think. So that's kind of why I try and take the clowning angle, or if I deliver a punch, I try and make it a bit more witty rather than aggressive. You know what I mean? I still have a bit of realism to it, but I'm not trying to overpower Shox, because that would just be dumb.
Yeah, that's kind of impossible, really.
Ain't gonna happen.
No. Coma certainly didn't mention it.
Let's see.
But we'll wrap up as we always do, because that's the last battle with just a few quick fire questions. First one is, what's your favourite King of the Dot battle?
Favourite King of the Dot?
Or like one you really like, recently?
I'd say probably Pat Stay and Math Offer.
Nice.
Probably, man. I like that battle a lot, and they're two of my favourites.
Yeah. And your favourite URL battle?
B Magic Real Deal.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's an amazing battle.
That is a really good battle. I fucking love B Magic.
Yeah,
I'd love to have him on the podcast, man.
He is my because he does them same sort of punches. He does like the whole couple on top, like a wedding cake. And I think he said, "I'll do a number on your door. That's an address." Like, I love the bars, and that's why Quill is sick as well, because he does the same type of punches.
Yeah.
And that's what makes people like that special. So yeah, man.
No, I adore B Magic. I mean, his battle versus DNA, just 3 rounds, just non-stop good bars, like, riding around looking for him like a parking spot. Like, it's just crazy shit.
He's on another level, man.
Yeah, I love B Magic.
Sometimes he says some bars and it's kind of like what are you doing? But that's his style, because he has so many punches. You're gonna have ones that don't hit.
He's a Jimmy Carr of battle rap, isn't he? He's just punching.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy. So, also your favorite film? Do you have a favorite film?
Yeah, I do. Hurricane, Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah, good shout. Yeah, I haven't seen that for years, but that's a really good movie.
Do you know why? Because I watched it when I was about 12 for the first time, and as a kid, I've been watching horror movies. Nothing really fazed me. But that's the one movie I watched, and I had a tear come out my eye. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I was young then. I don't cry at that movie no more.
No.
Like that touched my soul, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, that story is an amazing story.
It is.
It's good to know that there's good people out there. I lost my I think bus pass. I think I had about £100 on my Oyster card, and I lost it. I had like a picture on it as well, and I said, "Oh, it's gone." And then my aunt was like, she goes, "You never know, someone might have it or hand it in or whatever." Then I was at a train station one day, and this guy goes, come here, and I thought I'd done something wrong, so I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" Like, he goes, "No, come here." I walked up to him, he goes, "That's you," and he had it. Do you know what I mean? A few weeks later at some train station, and he's like, "That's you," and I was like, "Oh shit, you safe." So someone found it. They could have put it on the machine, £100 and kept it, but they didn't. They chose to hand it in, and there's people out there that will go out their way just to help others. And to be honest, Shox is one of them people, man. Like, he'll put himself out there just to help someone. We need more people like that, and that's what that film's about, man. Like, proper. It did touch me, even to this day, man. That and Forrest Gump, man.
No, I love the Hurricane, because it's like the perfect mix of like a boxing film and like a law film. Like it's just got it's a weird mix of genres, and obviously it's a true story. And Denzel is, I mean, any Denzel film is worth watching because of that guy. But sorry.
Go on, no, go on.
No, and finally, your favorite artist or band that isn't hip hop related?
I'd say it's a hard one. I like Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah.
Or do you know what as well, man? And I used to talk to Soul. I like Avril Lavigne as well, man.
Yeah, man, let go, bro.
Me and Soul used to talk about Avril Lavigne on some passionate shit, man. Like, this is before we even battled, man. We had that Avril bond.
Damn.
Do you know what I mean? So,
before it got complicated.
Yeah, like, it's just... Do you know what as well, man? Like as a kid, I used to listen to rap all the time, hip-hop all the time. And my mum said to me, she goes, you need to broaden your horizon. Do you know what I mean? She goes, you need to actually listen to other music. Because all you do is listen to rap and cuss anything that isn't rap. And 90% of the music I listen to is still rap. But I'll have days where I'm just listening to everything but rap. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or, you know, at work I put the radio on. It's always Magic FM. I don't listen to the charts nowadays. It's always Magic, man, because it's just good, happy music. So yeah, I'd say them two.
No, yeah, that's interesting, man. No, thanks. So that about wraps it up here at Battle Rap Resume. As ever, if you want to get in contact with the show, you can get in contact with Twitter at Battle Rap Resume, all one word, or battlerapresume@gmail.com, the email. Also, of course, on YouTube, if you're listening on YouTube, if you're not listening on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel where not only the episodes are housed, but there's also compilations that I've done. I recently did one called Around the World in 28 Battle Rap Leagues, where it kind of looks at battle rap in all the different countries. Like check out the Pakistani league, and there's Serbian leagues in there, and the Spanish leagues, and the German leagues, and of course the Canadian.
You went in.
Yeah, we're deep, man. And like,
that's good, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And like, I posted it online, and like, there's like 15 more countries that I've missed out. It's crazy. So there's going to be a second one, but
Part 2.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, check out earlier episodes, because we're getting to the point now where it's not 1 or 2 episodes. We're closing in on our first 10, which is great. And listen to the Shox one, listen to the Crafty one, as I mentioned them, and everyone else as well. And thank you, Olde English. Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. I had a good time.
No, this has been great. So how do people? I mean, have you got any music coming out, or how do people get in contact with you?
Yeah, basically my Twitter is Ye Olde English, YEOLDENGLISH. Almost forgot how to spell it. No, do you know what it is? Because it's old with an E, then it's English. Yeah. It's too complicated to put 2 E's on Twitter, so I just leave it to one. But I'm working on I got a mixtape with a friend in New York, Olde Great. He's not really too big, but he's been about, man. He's done a song with like Bonnie Godiva.
Oh, sweet.
He knows he's around, man. He knows people, but he's sick. Like, you should check him out. Olde Great. I'll post some links up on Twitter of his.
Is that the illiterate or?
No, that's it's great English, because we wanted to do it simple. Some people was like, oh yeah, but that's so simple, whatever. But I want to bring it back, man. I don't really care that it's just great English. Yeah. It's Olde Great and Olde English, because I wanted to bring it together, and that's why, like, the cover. There's a cover out that Patrick Courier, he done the cover, and it's basically my face and his face put together, and it's got the skylines together as well. So it's just all of that, and it's just London NY kind of stuff. Right. We're just working on a lot of beats and that at the moment. Not working on them, working on getting beats. I've got about 6 songs recorded. I'm not sure what's going to make the cut, but that's that. And then the illiterate is I wanted it out December, but I'm kind of not, I wouldn't say a perfectionist, but I don't feel like I'm ready to put it out. I still feel like I can offer a better product and better material. Right. And I want it to kind of mean a lot to me. It's very sentimental, so I just thought, I'll hold it. I'm not, I don't really have people hanging on, onto this and wanting to see it in a sense, or anticipating it in the same sense, because I'm not that active with music. Battling has made me so dormant when it comes to putting music out. So right now, that's really what I want to do. I think this year I'll probably have maybe an a cappella, another one. But, you know, I'll probably get into the on-beat stuff because that's where I need to prove myself now. I don't really need to prove myself a cappella because I'm not trying to be a champion. I'm not trying to be none of that.
You've got a great legacy of battles, man. You know.
Yeah, man. I've just done my thing. I've had fun, you know, and that's what it's about. So I'm working on this material. So hopefully August, the solo one, and I'd say maybe around about the same time for the other one. I'm not too sure, but it's gonna be a banger, man. Like, we complement each other. There's a track on my SoundCloud, SoundCloud/Olde English, and it's called Sorcerer's Stone. That's how me and Olde Great came together. You know, we done a track and thought, let's do a mixtape. So yeah, man, 2 projects.
No, dope. Thanks, man. And yeah, as ever, please check back on the old show. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
See, I'm trying to make a name for myself, cause I was bathed in hell like I came from a realm where Satan will dwell. A mental patient in cells, stories too crazy to tell, sketchy like David Chappelle. Get with a program, old can go ham, cold body when pressing your buttons like a snowman. I used to smoke dro in a coke can, so high double time sounds like a slow jam. Now you're gonna say shit when you're fam around. Fags move like statues but don't stand their ground. Rappers are cash cows trying to act a clown, making money off the beef then they cashing cows. I throw shots on the other side of the pond, the sky they belong, make them forget what climate they on. I'm writing a song and on time like a bomb, and if I don't blow they wired it wrong. I'm like Dwight and LeBron, cause I came to the big league with ease to spit these 16s and get cheese like Chris Lee's. Now I feel like a killer in the community. I lost so a beat by Jay Dilla is my eulogy. What would I change if time had an eraser? I'd smoke more Dutch like Anne Frank in a chamber, handling paper. Gotta get my act right, for window liquor sucking on glass like a crack pipe. That's life. We're from demo channel with writers blocked. The fans saying me and Soul's better than a title shot. I ain't taking away nothing from Tony. He's the best the seen, but now you're stuck here with OE. Did it on my ones, it sucks being lonely. The humble approach means the suffering won't cease. Stay me don't rap for no hood to get credit, but you're getting off on the wrong foot like a fetish. And ever since I hung around talented rappers, I learned the same dudes are just amateur actors. You are who you are, don't be flashy for cameras. Take a look inside my home, yeah, family matters. I'm fucked now, always get